everyone, Chrissy here from the Creative Eclectic. Happy Tuesday night. Sorry I'm a few minutes late. Beyond my control. Okay, still trying to get started here. I'll just pop my microphone in and hopefully that'll make things a bit better for you. Let's see if this works a bit better. Okay, tonight is the last night of our sketch butterfly showcase, and I'm really excited about the project that I am going to show you. Hoping that isn't in the way. I'm all tangled up in my microphone cord is tangled up in the Archon stand. But anyway, let's carry on. All right. Hi, Glenda. Hi, Megan. Thanks for joining me. Oh, goodness. Okay. So tonight we are doing a sketch butterfly card. And if you are on Instagram, you may have seen this card shared by a similar card shared by who is it? Stamping Up today. So this is the type of fold we're going to do. We're not doing these colours. Now this is an American fold. I need to take a second and just breathe and be organised. I've got stuff everywhere. Because I wanted to eat before I did this live because I didn't want to faint on you. Alright, so we're using the Sketch Butterfly stamp set. Okay. And we're also using some really pretty paper, and it is called... Oh, hi Lynette! Thanks for watching. We're using a pretty paper called... this is an online exclusive, and it is called Season of Green and Gold. So we're using this with our butterflies tonight. And we're also, and I'll show you that in a second in more detail, and we're also using the vellum that goes with it. Now, I love this vellum. Oh, that's really good, Lynette. Yeah, how is everyone anyway? I should have said that when I first got on. Hope everyone's really well. Yeah, so I love this vellum, and what I love about it is that the dies that go with the golden greenery, which I haven't put in the case yet. Oh, nope, that's the wrong ones. I have put them in the case. Oh, these are the other dies we're using. These are Greetings of the Seasons dies. And no, I will be die cutting tonight. I know that's a bit of a shock for everybody. So the golden greenery dies, and I love these. I haven't got my, I put them in the case but haven't got my, what is that thing? Magnetic sheet. I haven't got all of them in the case yet either, I don't think. So these 3 dies, they match up with the pattern paper. So just move that out of the way. Let's move my sketch butterflies out of the way. I'll get it together in a minute. All right. Yeah, so that one lines up with that one. This one here lines up with that one. And then this one lines up with these ones. Oops, you've got to make sure it's going the right way. And the beautiful thing about this vellum is that you can use either side. So if you don't want it quite as bright, you can use the other side. So I really love this GSP. Hi Jodie, how are you? All right, so I just love this vellum. It's so nice. So I have die cut that already. Now the paper we're using. Now I'm going to show you this in a second. Let me put the dies away so I don't lose them. I have lost so much stuff today. I had to go to Grand Plaza, the supermarket, and I went to pay for my things using my phone like I always do, to discover that I didn't have my phone. My phone was at home on the charger, but luckily I had my wallet, which I don't always have my wallet. So it was a rare thing. So that's the sort of day that I have had. Oh, sorry to hear that, Jodie. I hope that the service is a beautiful celebration. Okay. All right. So we're going to use this beautiful paper. Now, what I love about this paper, and I showed you this a few weeks ago when I unboxed, is on most sheets, one side has got gold foil and the other side is plain. So we've got this one. Isn't that beautiful? And then it's just got plain dots on the other side. This one, I don't know if you can see this real well. My light's pretty shocking. And I'll try and add a bit more light without making the light flicker. 1 second. That might be a little bit better. Not much. I need to adjust my lighting. I need to get a new light actually. Yeah, so this one's gold on one side. Look, I don't know if you can see that shimmering. And then the other side is plain. And I went a bit berserk and I bought lots of packs of this. So this one's got gold bells, and these can be die, and these pieces all can be die cut. And the bells can be die cut. Now this is an online exclusive. Oh, look at this page. It's all gold. And then the other, I like the other side too. And I like this one. And the beauty with these ones is that if you want, you could use your blending brush and you can colour them. We might do that next week. And then that's the other side of that. And I'm sure there's more. Oh, then there's this one, which I've die cut lots of bits out of. And then we've got, oh yeah, I've shown you that one. I've shown you the others. All right. So I'll show you the card. And as I said, it was featured on Instagram today. And how freaky is that? know how that happens, but I don't know if it was on the Stampin' Up Facebook page, but let's have a look. So this is using the country lace paper. Now this is an all American sizing, this one. So one of the artisans did this. So I've used the Spotlight on Nature dies on here, and I've used my sketch butterfly. And this is actually going to the United States, so hopefully. Now, my challenge was I had never used Basic Beige before. So I had challenged myself. I had to use the Basic Beige ribbon and the Basic Beige cardstock. So I've used the cardstock, but I made a bit of an error. I know I've made an error there because I stuck it down. Never mind, I'll fix that later. Let me just put a post-it note on the back of that so I remind myself to fix it. So this has got a piece of ribbon wrapped around it. It's got a little flap there. Now when I was scoring the Basic Beige, I accidentally cut it. So you'll see here I've cut it. So rather than chuck it out, I just put a piece of Designer Series paper on the background so that I would not waste that piece. All right, so yeah, I need to do something to cover that little thing. But so that was that card that I made. Tonight I'm going to do tonight's card in centimetres. You'll be so proud, Megan. And yes, I'll just stick that down. The lovely Steve just brought me up a beautiful cup of coffee, and look at this cup. Whoops, hang on, I better take a sip. Look at how beautiful this cup is. I don't know if you can see it, and it's got pretty peacock colours in it, and it's a wren, and it's got a little wren on the inside. So I must have really needed it. Anyway, let me just straighten up this camera. There, whoop. That looks a bit better. Yeah, a little less crooked. All right, and Miss Delphi is talking to the dogs next door. Okay, so let's talk about I made a template. Now I've made mine in Australian sizing. And basically it's a full length of an A4 sheet. And so let me talk about, I'm going to make this one in crumb cake because I haven't used that for a while. So your card base is 14.9 centimetres high by 29.7 long. She should make a guest appearance, but she's too big to hop on the table, Megan. We'll see how we can do that another week. All right, so if you're making it in US measurements, you're going to have it at 5.5 inches by 12 inches, okay? So let's grab our trusty little die cutter, paper trimmer, and let's trim. All right, or score. Oh, it's messy. Okay, so the first place we're going to score at, we'll need to move our arm out. The first place we're going to score at is at the 10.5 centimetres. Let me All right, I'm just going to score it there at 10.5 centimetres. Then we're going to move it along, and we're going to score at 18 centimetres. So we line this edge up with the 18. Now I've got the other numbers for the US, so it'd be 4¼ inches and 7¼ inches. If you're doing the US, if you're in the US. You reckon she can hop on my lap? She's very big at the moment. She's very, very fluffy. Okay, and then you're going to move that across, and you're going to score at 26 centimetres, or if you're in the US, it'll be 10¼ inches. Not US, North America. Sorry, my Canadian friends. All right, so you've got 1, 2, 3 score lines. So you sort of score it back to front, if that makes sense. Now, the other thing that we will need is we will need a piece of white for the inside of the card, and I haven't cut that yet. And I'm just going to cut it at 6 centimetres by 13.5. Now this is a bit of a guess, but we'll see how that goes. And I thought what we could do is put together the base of the card first, because it's pretty easy, and then do my stamping. All right. So, as I said, we scored it, the big section, the little section, the small section, so you're going to turn it over. And that big section, you're just going to burnish that fold. Then you're going to fold the next bit back. It's like a concertina. And then you're going to fold the next bit. Now, I may have scored that wrong, because that actually says 25. So let's move that. Oh, great. It says 25, not 26. I crossed it out. So I'm just going to, there's no harm done just yet. So we'll just score it at 25. I might do an extra one at 25.5, just in case I have stuffed it up completely. You know, because I did it again. I'm just going to put some tape on the bottom of that. All right. See, that's what happens when you get flustered. Hi, Miss Kim. How are you? All right. So we're going to score it. Not going to work. So when you accidentally cut where you shouldn't, you can always fix that. And now that's what I intended to do. I wanted to show you how to fix it. Yeah, if you believe that, you'll believe anything. But anyway, all right. So I've got some pattern paper. Right. Now I wanted my first piece to and because, as I said, I've accidentally cut that one, so I've got an extra piece here that was a bit narrower, so I'm going to use that as a to cover up where I stuffed up. Okay. Hi, Helen. Okay, so I'm just going to bring my cutter back in. Let's do it in a completely different colour. Let's use as many cut pieces of this paper as we can. I'm thinking a check. Check would be good. Just to keep choking myself on the so I'm just going to cut this piece to 3/4 to an inch wide. No, I'm going to cut it to 1/2 an inch. 1/2 an inch? No, I'm going to cut it to an inch. I'm going to show you how to fix something when you've stuffed it up, and I'm going to score it at 1/2 an inch. So move that cutting blade right out the way so you don't mess it up like I just did. Okay, so this one will be completely different to the one that Stamping Up shared earlier today. Okay, so luckily I bought all this paper up here. So I'm going to stick this piece on first. So this piece is 14.5 centimetres by 3.7. How are you, Helen? Okay. Oakley dokley. Let's just pop this one on here. Now, in the Stamping Up one, when they did it, they didn't have any bits on the inside, and that's quite okay. All right, if you want to, you can add as much or as little paper as you want. Stamping Up, when they did theirs, they only added 3 bits of pattern paper, and they didn't add a bit on the inside or anything like that. So what I've done here is I've just folded it, and I'm just going to glue that bit down, right? So, and I haven't trimmed off the ends because I'm going to use my scissors to do that. Oh, I'm very resilient, Miss Kim. I make lots and lots of mistakes, not only in crafting. But anyway, that's a whole other story. Okay, so I've got my first piece of pattern paper on, so that doesn't look too bad. If I wanted to, I can add another piece on the inside, and I probably should. But I'm just going to leave it for now. Now I was going to work out, I want this piece to go next. Okay, like that. Because I think the gold brings up the green, nice contrast with the green nicely. You would think with all the access to as much GSP as they want, that Stamping Up would go crazy Yes, but the artisans only get a certain amount. So I would think that they would go crazy. And look, you can always cover that with a bit of ribbon too, if you wanted to. I'm just going to... So this piece here is 7 centimetres wide by 14 and a half. All right. They left this piece blank, but we've got a piece of this one which I could cut down. Which I'm going to just cut it to 7 centimetres and 14 and a half. So, did you notice, Megan, I'm using centimetres? I never use centimetres, I always use inches. So, I'm going to remake this and do another template using the inches because, but for the A4 sheets, just because I can. All right. And I will use the other end of the glue later, Megan. So Glenda, what's the weather like up where you are? Is it freezing? My mum's at Harvey Bay. She said it was so cold up there. My dad had gone fishing. And this morning he went out and to go fishing, and he came back and went back to bed, and my dad never goes back to bed. Okay, so now we have a choice. I don't like the gold and the two golds together, but what I do like is that one. So we're going to choose. So this is number 1. So it's just a plain green background, right? Or, which that was my first option, or we're going to pick number 2, which has also got some gold in it. What do we like? Do we like number 2, which is this one, or number 1? I'm thinking number 1. Megan likes number 1 as well. Well, you were the first to answer. I'm also going to put this piece, a bit of this here. Oh, Helen likes number 2. Glenn likes number 2. Oh. All right. We might leave that a second because the bits that are going on it do have gold in them, I think. Oh, no, they might not. Number 2 is too busy. Well, why don't we put the rest of the card together and then we'll make our decision. How's that sound? And what I'm going to do here to cover up this bit where I stuffed it, I'm going to put this piece here. I'll just cut it an inch off there. So this will be 3.7 centimetres. I'm going to score it. I'm going to move my cutting thing out. Just score it at 3.7. And then move it over so it's another centimetre when I cut it I might cut it at 5. That should work. All right. I think that will go. Yep, that will go beautifully. Now, because I've put a score line in it because as I said, I accidentally cut instead of scoring. And I don't want to throw my base out, and I don't want to walk all the way downstairs and get another piece of crumb cake. All right. So we're 3/4 done on our base. So how this will go is it'll need some glue on that bit for sure. So when it closes, and make sure you've got plenty of glue on it so that it sticks nicely. So when it opens, it'll open like that. I haven't done that right. Why haven't I done that right? Oh, goodness me. I scored in the wrong spot, that's why. Here we go. That's better. Let's just give that a little bit of a hand with our bone folder. So we need our piece of white, which will go on here, which was 3 points. Now, I don't want to just stick my white on like that. So I'm going to grab my Mossy Meadow ink pad to do a couple of things with this. First of all, grab my very revolting Mossy Meadow ink pad and just dip my cardstock so that it's got colour on every edge, like a really dark Mossy Meadow colour. Now, this is a good technique if you don't have a sponge dauber. Now, my Mossy Meadow ink pad actually needs to be washed out completely and re-inked because it's a bit slimy for some reason. I could just replace it, but being a little bit frugal. Okay, so close the Mossy Meadow up. I'm going to grab my old olive and I have an old olive sponge dauber somewhere. This one will do. And I'm just going to sponge around the edge because I want it to be not as harsh. And you could put a layer of what's that colour? Old olive behind it. That would look really nice as well. Now this is something that isn't on the Stampin' Up one that's on Instagram. They didn't put a piece in like this, and I think that you need something to write on. Okay, and I don't mind that it's got some splotches of colour over it. I want it to look not so harsh. Okay. And I'm going to grab my crumb cake marker. I'm not sure if it's, and I'm just going to flick some, I don't know if this is my old one or my new one. looks like it's the old one. Let's try this one. They're both old, I think. I'm going to flick my marker, flick some colour on there. Oh, bless you, Steve. I don't know if you heard him sneezing all the way over there. And I'm going to, oh, that's a really old one. Use my Mossy Meadow, flick a bit of Mossy Meadow on there as well. There we go. So it's not harsh now. I'm just going to stick that on there using glue. You don't want to have it sitting up or anything like that. Are you watching the swimming, Kim? You'll have to give us a commentary. Is it the Dutch or is it the German team that have the men's swimming that have the dreadful see-through naked togs? I think they're Dutch. Initially I thought they were German. It's like, oh goodness. Yeah. And I love the French. I love that the French took some risks and did something different for the opening ceremony. It was very confusing and it caused a lot of uproar, but I think that that's the whole point. That's why the French do what they do. All right, so next up I want to I've die cut my papers and my vellum from those two lots of papers I showed you before. I've also die cut a piece in Shaded Spruce and a piece in Old Olive and a couple of pieces in Old Olive there. And so we've got quite a few little different elements to use. And I've used the Greetings of the Seasons dies. Now these are really cute. These are really nice. And you don't have to buy them as a bundle. You can just buy them on their own. So I've used this one. And they're stitched. But what I've done is because I want to put, I don't want to just have a white, and I want to put, I want to have the white layered on the green or Mossy Meadow. So what I did is I cut 2 extra ends, so I can cut this in half and I can expand it because I didn't have another die a little bit bigger. So yeah, I agree, Helen, most of it was really good, like, and it was very interesting to have their homage to Marie Antoinette and to Dionysus and the goddess of the river Seine. All right, so what we want to do is we're going to cut this in half lengthways. Okay. And we're going to pop our a bit of glue on the back of this one here, on the back of our white. Now I haven't stamped it yet. I'm going to trust that I can stamp this right first go. So I'm just going to pop a bit of glue on. And I've got my silicone craft mat. Let's move these out of the way. Now, someone asked me today about the glass mat and whether or not I thought they were a good idea. And I have another brand of glass mat that I've had for many years, a Tim Holtz one. And I have a Stampin' Up one. And what I love about having a glass mat is they're no good for videoing, but when you're just crafting, if they are up on little feet, because when I start crafting, I have a completely clear table, and when as I'm crafting, all my stuff creeps in, and so I end up crafting in this little space like I have here. When you have a glass mat and it's on little feet, you can, it causes a barrier to stop things crowding in, and so that's why I really like mine. And it was fun to get it out again. All right, so now I've got these pieces, and I am just going to stick that on the back like that. Now, I need to make sure that we'll be able to get stuff through the hole. All right, and the holes won't line up. So what I'm going to do, if my little scissors let me, is I'm just going to cut a strip where the hole would have been, right? So then when you put it behind there, you're not covering up the hole. Okay, so we'll just pop some glue on these bits here, and some glue just across. Oh, I put that on back the front. I did too. Oh well, I need to take that off because I put it on back the front so the stitching wasn't in the right place. Gee, I'm having a good time tonight, aren't I? Oh well. It just makes everyone else feel better about their crafting mistakes. You can rely on me for that. Completely stuffed up. Okay, no, that's... See, because we used multi-purpose liquid glue, I could very easily undo that. Line it up where I want it to go. Okay. So it gives a bit more interest to just having a plain background. Now I've got ink all over my fingers and I'm pressing it on the white and it's leaving some residual. We don't have to worry about the other end having any holes in that because there's no hole, there's only a hole at one end. Okay. And because I have got some ink from my fingers on the white, let's just grab a baby wipe. I'll just wipe my hands off and I will just use my sponge and put do a bit of sponging on it. Oh goodness, 10 baby wipes came out all at once. Alright, just get rid of all that ink off my fingers. Okay. I'm just going to just quickly ink around that. Just again, it just softens it, makes it look a little bit maybe shabby chic. It definitely doesn't hurt it anyway. And it makes it look like that those blotches that ink boogers that I got on there from my fingers are actually supposed to be on there. Okay. All right, so that's my label. I want to have a butterfly on it because it's the last of our sketch butterflies tonight. And I'm going to see if I can actually die cut a butterfly on camera. I never cut butterflies on camera. Never die cut on camera. Alright, I'll just wipe my hands again. I've got more green that I know what to do with. So normally I would die cut and then stamp, but I don't have my Stamparatus upstairs with me or my Sizzix up here, so I am doing this differently today. You know, change is as good as a holiday, so they say. Right. I'm going to have a nice big butterfly on here. Do we have a block? Yes, we do. Do we have the right size block? No, that's not it. Let's see if I can get the right size block without toppling the camera over. The block, my block case is holding the camera stand in place. So hopefully it doesn't topple. That'll do. That's pretty close. Now I've got some Memento ink. That's my go-to ink. I'm not watercolouring as such, so I don't need to use a StazOn ink. I was going to watercolour and then I changed my mind. Alright, I'm just going to stamp that and bring in my little trusty blue embossing folder. Stamp and cut machine. Cut and emboss machine. I've got my platform 1 and my platform 2. I've got my stamped piece and I have got my butterfly, sketch butterfly die. And I did have some tape here. Oh, I've got a bit of tape left from before. If you're using the green frog tape from Bunnings, just rub it on your clothes so it's not quite so sticky, because you don't want to tear your stamped image. And I find that if it's too sticky, it just tears my stamped image. Like, I've used this frog tape quite a bit today, so I don't have any inclination that it's going to tear my image, but I just want to make sure. Then I'm going to layer my number 2 plate on the top. And fingers crossed, this works beautifully. Got to have something go right. All right. Gently press that out. Oh, that looks pretty good. Ta-da! I'm pretty happy with that. All right. And then we can just fold up our little embossing machine and put it to one side. Put the plates out of the way. Now, to colour this, I am going to use my watercolour pencils. Now, I've got my pencils all ended up in the one box, so I don't know what I'm supposed to have in there and what I'm not. So I'm just winging it. And I want my butterfly to be really bright against the green. So I'm going to do it in blue, whatever blue that is. It's not Night of Navy, I've got balmy blue and I've got another blue, so we'll just see what those are. And I might have a bit of purple as well. All right. And some early espresso for the body. What did I... Oh, hi, Odette. How are you? Megan, what did I think of the new catalogue? Ooh, my wish list is fairly long. Do I like the layout? No, not at all. Do I like the products? Yes, and there are lots of hidden gems in there, like the kits and that are coming, like the little Halloween haunted house kit. Oh my giddy aunt, that's beautiful. And I am excited for those. Excuse me while I just sharpen my pencil. I'm really excited for those things. All right, so I've coloured the body in early espresso. I'm going to colour this bit in what I believe is Gorgeous Grape. I don't know if these colours are in the current watercolour pencils, but let's use them anyway. But yeah, there's lots to like in there. I can say that it was a very, very hard choice trying to choose what we're going to use for our retreat. Vicky and I haven't completely decided yet, but I think we're pretty close. And retreat tickets are already on sale. So if you want to come to our one-day craft retreat on the 14th of September, I'll put a link in the comments and you can get your tickets. Now this is a very, very bright butterfly. This one had a really nice contrast against Now, when I use my watercolour pencils, I try and do a bit of a circular motion, just so that you don't end up with too many lines, hard lines. What did you think of the catalogue, Megan? Oh, and the other thing I liked in the catalogue, there were little peppermints in there. And I know one of my friends, she loves the stars and that they made a wreath out of, and I think that that's really great punch. I don't know about the stamps, but I love the star punch. It's sort of a really fat punch. So there's lots to love in it. Just going to add a bit more blue. I don't know if this is a different colour or not, but it doesn't. All right, so I've coloured that really quickly. A bit of blue down the bottom there. And it's very rough coloured, right? And I've done it in circular motions. So then you grab your trusty Wink of Stella and you move your ink around. And it then looks like a very vibrant watercolour. Okay. I don't think people use these pencils nearly enough. They are a great way to colour. They're great when you're travelling. So if you're going on holidays and you want to take something to craft, pick up some watercolour pencils, your favourite stamp set, and a Wink of Stella and some card bases, and you're ready to go. That's if you didn't want to take a kit. Of course you could take a kit as well. Okay, so I really like these, and I don't think they get enough use. All right. Oh, you didn't see half the stuff that I've mentioned. Well, maybe we can have a call tomorrow, Megan, and we can go through it together. I'm really excited. I was hoping my hard copy would come in the mail, but no such luck. Only stuff that wasn't even for me. It was from my aunt, so that was a bit sad. I was so excited. I got this big letter in the thing and it wasn't even for me. Now, if you go outside the lines, which I am doing here deliberately, that's okay, because you want it to look like it's watercoloured. And so, and what the going outside the lines does, it's particularly around the edges, is it makes it less harsh. All right, you don't get that harsh white line. Okay, there we go. We've got our little butterfly. I'm going to put a bit of Wink of Stella in the middle too, just to make sure that that's not white. All right. Okay, last thing we need to do is find a sentiment, and yes, paper copy is much better. I agree, Megan. But yes, so the last thing we're going to do is just get a sentiment. Let's make this a card about hope. Hope? No, let's make this a birthday card. I can't decide really. Do we want a birthday card? Yeah, I'll have a birthday card. That's a bigger sentiment. All right. So, if you look at the paper, it has some shaded spruce in it. It has mossy meadow. It has old olive. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to go in with the mossy meadow. So I'm going to ink up my stamp with the mossy meadow. Then I'm going to grab, if I've got one, do I have it? If I've brought it upstairs, I was going to grab my shaded spruce marker and I didn't bring it upstairs. So what I'm going to do is I've got my shaded spruce ink pad and I've got a sponge dauber. And I'm just going to sponge daub some shaded spruce over top of the word birthday. Okay? Okay. Grab my baby wipe and just wipe around the edge. Huff on it, go. And fingers crossed, this works. Press it down. It worked reasonably well. I'm going to cover up that little birthday thing. All right. So now, the other thing is we need to decide on some ribbon. I'm thinking that because the paper is almost a cream, it can't decide whether it's going to be a cream or whether it's going to be white. It has both, but I'm thinking that the very vanilla ribbon is much nicer. Hey Marie! What do you reckon? Do you think that the vanilla ribbon or the white, or we've got a different vanilla here? This ribbon here is like suede. It's just beautiful and soft. I'm thinking that the satin ribbon would be nice. So I'm going to go with that. Good. Yep. I agree, Lynette and Megan. Yes. So I'm going to give myself a fair amount of ribbon here. And I have got some tear and tape. And I'm going to pop my tear and tape just on the front of the card where I want my ribbon to stick. I could use glue dots, but I'm just going to do tear and tape. Get my bone folder and just burnish the tear and tape so it sticks really nicely to the cardstock. And when you burnish it, it actually takes, and it's going to make a liar out of me, it makes it easier to take the backing paper off. How are you going, Marie? Are you? Hope you're home. Oh, hi, Kerry. Yeah, I like the shiny one too, the satin one. And this is an online exclusive ribbon. How are you, Kerry? Now I want to give myself heaps of ribbon so I can tie my bow. All right. And I've centered it, sort of centered it top to bottom. I'm not going to cut it off yet. Right. Let's put that to one side. Now we want to start putting some foliage on here. And the foliage is all going to go on the back of this piece here. So I want some shaded spruce. And what I am actually, I'm not going to tie a bow there. I'm going to tie my bow. I'm going to be a bit tricky. So I will cut that. I probably don't need quite that much. I'm just going to cut that off. Where are my ribbon scissors? Ribbon scissors have run away. Here they are. They haven't run too far though. Just going to cut those two bits off. And this piece here, I'm going to tie my little bow through that hole. Now, you can make this card, this layout of card, as simple or as complicated as you want. Mine's a bit more complicated because I keep making mistakes because I haven't been terribly well the last couple of days, so that's okay. My blood cells are a bit thick and they're doing odd things. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to tie this here. Now I don't need a bow maker for this. I can just tie a nice little bow. Maybe. Let me just give myself a bit more. I'm really looking forward to mystery stamping on Saturday. I've even got the first clue ready to post tomorrow. How organised is that? Usually you're getting it the day before. So, oh, you're home from hospital. That's good. That's really good. Okay. Now, tie that like that. Now, to adjust the edge of the bow, you're just going to put your finger on the knot, and then you can adjust the loops to the right size and then pull it tight. And if they don't go exactly how you want it, just put some pressure on that knot, and it's going to be very facetious today. It's a slippery little ribbon, so keep that in mind when you're working with it. There we go. And obviously I've got way too much ribbon there. Hi, Cherie. How are you? Oh, lovely to see you. How hot is it in Florida at the moment? Oh, I think it's a bit warm. It's Tampa, I think, is it? Yeah. And Carrie, are you well? Oh, I always get excited when Cherie watches because it's the wrong time zone. All right, so we're just going to pop this bit here. Now, just trust me as I put this together. I have it in my head what it will look like, and maybe it won't look how I think it's going to look at all. I have this bit here. I want to have this little bit here. Oh, you had 8 inches of rain this month. Oh, wow. That's a lot. Well, I'm hoping to be in Florida in May. That's my aim. When I earn incentive trip, how's that? When I earn incentive trip, I'll be going to Disney World in Florida. So there we go. And I've got this piece. We want, I'm not going to use these pine needle-y pieces. I think they're too Christmassy. But I will use this piece here. I will use this one up here. Now, see, I haven't die cut that really well. I've used an edge piece, so that's okay. I'm just sort of in my head, like I'm not sticking anything yet. I'm just placing it where I think it should go. And it will be very, very busy. So that's why I think that we need, let's just see, see that is the busy paper. And this one is the plain paper. So that's why I think we're going to go with that plainer pattern. Well, I will come and visit you if you let me. True. I would love to come. So there you go. So that, yeah. Does that plain paper, that works better? Okay. So now it's a matter of sticking all those sticking that plain paper on, and then sticking all these pieces to the back of here. And then I'll just put a piece of paper behind it. I could put another die cut. So let's stick this one in, make it work. Yeah, I've just got to earn it first, Sheree. Just got to earn it first. I'm on track. So this month I need to do $5,000 in sales. So we can do that. As in, in August. So we can do that. And yeah, I still have a target for September, but yeah, it's just got to earn it. So what we're going to do is we're going to start sticking these pieces on. Oops. And I will do another die cut just so that I don't have any excess glue. Right, now see, this was an edge piece, so I needed to tuck it underneath a bit further to cover up the bit that was cut off. I'm sure we'll work something out. We've got until May to work out the details. I'm really excited. It's getting more and more like a possibility. You know how when you start something and you go, you have a dream and a vision and you go, might not get there, but I'm going to give it a good go. And my whole thing was I wanted to be able to put my hand on my heart and go, you know, I've tried my very hardest. and if I can get there, I will. Okay, and now I'm going to slip this one. I'm actually going to slip that behind there. Now the vellum has a right and a wrong side, so make sure that the darker side is where you want it to be. Now I'm going to carefully hold it above that so I can see. Now I have got glue everywhere, so let's just grab a bit of paper. Grabbing a bit of paper here, and we're just going to stick that over there just to make sure that it's snugly in place. All right, I will and that means that it won't move because the vellum's a bit slippery. It's a slippery little sucker. All right, thank you for joining us, Lynette. I will talk to you soon. All right, so I've got that bit there. See, it's coming together. We're going to stick our green down here. I don't need that big stalk. It's a very late night tonight. I'm sorry about that. I did start late though. I'm going to slide these ones in underneath that cream. I don't normally go after 8 o'clock, but because I messed up on my card and had to do a few fixes and a few things, we're running a bit behind schedule. But it's okay, because I would only just be watching the Olympics if I wasn't doing this. And I'm going to again put the vellum, no, this time I'm going to put the vellum in front. I'm going to tuck it in a bit more. I'll take a bit off the bottom. There we go. The vellum in there. Actually, no. I do like it better behind. Yeah, that's a good thing about card making. You can change your mind. Now pop a bit of vellum behind there. Bit of glue behind there. That's better. I just wanted just a hint of the vellum. We don't want it too visible. Okay, so that's a very, very leafy thing. And again, I'm just going to put another little bit of paper behind on the back of that. I would normally do a die cut, but I don't have any Mossy Meadow cardstock up here, so And you really don't want me to be running downstairs and that sort of thing. All right. So that's a very, very, very leafy card. Now, the big note here is when you're sticking this piece on, you're only sticking it to this front flap and you're sticking it flat. I'm going to put a little bit of glue over here. There we go. And you can attach your ribbon behind there as well with a bit more of the what do you call it, tear and tape. So just stick that tear and tape on. He doesn't like that I had glue on there first. Now I'm putting this tear and tape on so that I can attach the ribbon, and that'll also cover up and hold in place any of those leaves that decide they want to do a runner or something. Oh goodness. That's why you don't have glue all over your fingers as you're doing stuff. There we go. So that ribbon's stuck on there. We're going to pop our butterfly on. And I wanted the butterfly just because it was nice and bright, but you could always put the butterfly up there if you wanted to, but I just want it down here. And I've got a dimensional. Now, I don't want it too far over to the left because I don't want it to go off the edge. All right, so that is my work of art card tonight. Lots of die cutting, lots of, the butterflies on it so it covers up the words. That's a bit silly. Just move it down a bit. Oh. Yes, well, having a day. There we go. That's still covering up the words, but it's all right. So then when you want it to close, you would just tie it like that, right? So that is my card. I'm not putting any bling on it because it is blingy enough with all the gold and the Winker Stella, and I like the contrast of the blue and the purple to I like them with the shaded spruce. So this was the other card, as I said, the American measurement card that I did. Same stamp set, different paper. So I will post a photo of our measurements. I'll fix this one over here to say 2.5. And it's got the US measurements down the bottom. All right. So it's a very, very special card. But, like, you could do a few of them. Like, if you didn't stuff up like I did with and accidentally cut it. Yeah, and you've got a place for them to write, and like you could have put that white over there if you wanted to, but you don't need to. Whereas on this one, I put the two butterflies over there. Now remember, don't stick it to the back because otherwise you're not going to be able to open it. All right, that's what I did before. Okay, so there you go. So they are our Sketch Butterflies cards, the US version. Now you'll see the US version is just a little bit shorter and a little bit wider. Teeny bit wider, not much, but definitely is wider. So there you go. They are our cards of the day. This one uses the country lace paper and Sketch Butterflies and the Spotlight on Nature dies. This one uses the Sketch Butterflies, the greenery, whatever it is, a Season of Green and Gold, the golden greenery dies, and the Greetings of the Season dies. All right, so everyone have a great night. I shall see some of you on Saturday for our mystery stamping, and I will be posting a clue for that tomorrow. Next week is, tomorrow is the last day that you can earn your bonus days vouchers, so don't forget to put your order in for $90 to get your voucher, and you can redeem that the day after if you want. All right, until next time, happy creating. Bye for now.